This was my third trip to Neem Karoli Baba's temple at Kainchi Dham. Kainchi is close to Nainital in Uttarakhand. I took a flight from Pune to Delhi and connecting flight to Pantnagar. At the airport, I took a cab and the journey started towards the temple. While I was chit-chatting with the driver, he said that many new devotees have started coming to the temple, and over the weekends, the roads are really choco-blocked. And I remembered the first time that I was here was in 2018. I was traveling from Jim Corbett, the wildlife sanctuary, to a place called Kausani in the mountains. This place is also called the mini Switzerland of India. While traveling, the driver asked me, "Have I heard about Neem Karoli Baba?" And he narrated the story of Steve Jobs, the way he came to the temple and how his life changed. I got curious and I said, I wish to go to the temple. And when I visited, I saw a beautiful idol of Neem Karoli Baba, and there were very few people sitting there. So I sat there and I started talking to one of the devotees, and I said to him, "This is the first time that I'm visiting the temple. Can you tell me something about Neem Karoli Baba?" And he said, "He was called Maharajji. If you want to know more about him, read about his life and some stories about him." He suggested that I pick up two books, The Divine Reality and The Miracle of Love. I went across to the bookstore and I picked up these two books. It took me about 4 hours from Kainchi Dham to reach Kausani. By the time I reached, it was late in the evening. I checked in, had my dinner and slept. Next day morning when I got up, the moment I got up, I felt a very deep calmness in my whole body. The feeling that I used to experience in my meditation, that feeling, that experience stayed with me throughout the day. And I felt maybe it is because of the mountains, or maybe it is because of the beautiful calmness which was prevailing in the whole environment, and I didn't give it much thought. But today when I look back, there was something that had changed in my being. So we'll talk about this more. The second time I visited Kainchi Dham was in 2022. Maharajji used to tell his devotees, "Once I take your hand, I never let it go, even when you let go of mine." There are many stories of Maharajji. Do watch this documentary, Windfall of Grace. Once a devotee of Maharajji was waiting for him at the riverbank. Maharajji got a little late, and when he reached, he asked him that, "You have been waiting for me for long." The devotee said, "No, I wasn't." So he said, "Okay. So while you were waiting for me, what were you doing? तुम क्या कर रहे थे जब तुम मेरे लिए रुके थे?" So the devotee said, "मैं राम राम जप रहा था." So Maharajji comes close to his ear and says, "राम राम जपने से सब कुछ पूरा हो जाता है." When Maharajji was sitting with his disciple called Kailash, and he tells Kailash, "You see, there are so many people who come here in the morning and evening. They all come here and they are worried about their families. Nobody asks me about God." During my first visit, I had picked up this book called Miracle of Love. This book is written by Ram Das. Ram Das used to teach at Harvard University. The journey of Ram Das from being Ram Das to becoming Baba Ram Das has been transformational. There's a very beautiful story I heard Krishna Das narrating. I would like to tell you here. So Maharajji told Ram Das not to touch money. So Ram Das took all the money and gave it to his friend, and his friend used to pay for his food, his stay and tickets. One day in the morning, when Ram Das gets up in the hotel, he sees that all the friends had left, and including his friend, and he was really furious, very angry, because from Nainital to walk to Kainchi Dham temple, he had to walk for about 3.5 to 4 hours. And he was very angry. So when he reached Kainchi Dham Ashram, he saw all his friends were having food, including his friend. So the moment his friend sees him coming inside the temple, he gets up and gives him a plate full of food. Ramdas was so angry, he takes all the food and takes the plate and puts it across on the face of his friend. Maharaji, who was sitting and watching him, tells Ramdas, come here, idhar aao. So Ramdas says, I cannot stand impurity in myself or in others. Maharaji looks at him from top to bottom and says, and a couple of times, and says, but I cannot see any impurity in you. So Ramdas says, like he's in tears, and Maharaji tells him, love everyone and tell the truth. Ramdas says, I don't love everyone. Maharaji says again, love everyone and tell the truth. Ramdas says again, I don't. Maharaji again says, Ramdas, love everyone and tell the truth. There has been a complete journey of Ramdas from being him to becoming Ramdas, because being confined to the wheelchair for 20 years, when he left his body, he truly loved everyone and he always spoke the truth. Maharaji was asked, how do you find God? Maharaji used to say, serve people. Somebody asked him how to raise the Kundalini. And you know what Maharaji said? He said, feed people.